What's happening, food fans? Pitmaster Shane D here, and I wanted to go over 12 quick and easy steps that are going to help you really bring your briskets to a new level, right? Make some bombastic brisket without making a lot of mistakes. So there's a longer video to this. As you can see, this brisket's already been prepped up and ready to go. It's going to be resting in the refrigerator. But I want to give you just the 12 steps, read through them real quick, so just in case you needed a shorter video and you want to watch me trim the brisket. So number one, trim all the hard fat off the brisket. That's it. Don't leave a ton on there. If you want to know why, go to a longer video. Number two, you definitely want to dry brine your brisket. Okay, lightly salt. This happens to have some salt and some rub on it. You can just use salt and pepper if you wanted to. You want it to rest in the dry brine at least 6 hours. Overnight is better. I like 8 to 10 hours. So that's 2 and 3. Number 4, just before you put your brisket on, coming right out of the refrigerator, dust it with another light coat of rub. Number 5 is put the meat directly on the grill, dead cold, set the grill to 235. If you're using another type of grill, let it come up to about 235. Don't pre-rest your brisket. Bring it out of the refrigerator, lightly seasoned, right on the grill at about 235. 6, don't look at it, don't peep at it, don't mess with it, or nothing for at least 2 hours, okay? At 2 hours, I come back and I lightly redust again. I have several light redusts of rub. I don't cake my rub on, okay? Number 7, come back in another 2 hours. The bark and color is likely going to be pretty close to where you're going if you're running a pellet grill. You can go longer if you want, go less if you want. But usually about the 4-hour mark at 235, I'm getting a good color. All right? If your bark is where you want it, I don't care what the internal temperature is on the brisket. I don't. It could be 145, it could be 175, I don't care. But if the color and the bark is where you want it, now's the time to wrap. Now, I know we're getting an argument about wrap or don't wrap. These are my 12 steps to ensure you get a good brisket. I recommend wrapping until you master it, okay? So 7, check it, right? Decide whether you're going to wrap or not. 8, you can wrap in paper or foil. I mostly use foil because it's cheaper and I get a better result, and I like saving all the au jus in there. And all you people who love paper, spending that money on it are going to argue with me here. Paper doesn't ruin the bark as much, blah, 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 but it does ruin the bark. It does change the bark. If you're going to change the bark, you may as well wrap in foil, in my opinion. Again, this is what I usually have around the house for a good eating brisket. Foil, okay? I tried paper, it's fine. When you wrap it in foil or paper, lightly redust again, okay? So I don't care if you go fat side up, fat side down. It doesn't really matter once you go in the foil. I like to use like a really good beef stock in there or some Worcestershire sauce. But the product I like the most, and you'll see it in the inset here, is a product called Kitchen Accomplice. It is a thickened stock or beef broth, highly concentrated. You don't need a lot. Just give it a good squirt across there and seal it up good. I always use 2 layers of foil because I do not want to lose any of the au jus. I love having that available to do other stuff with it, okay? And having that concentrated beef broth, it mixes with the rendered fats coming out of this brisket and makes an amazing, amazing au jus, okay? So put that in there, no more than about a 1/4 cup, seal it up. Number 9, crank your grill up to 250 to 275 at this point. Once it's sealed up, it don't matter, okay? We're just trying to get her done. 250 to 275, depending on when you need it done. But I come back hourly once I've wrapped it, and I check the temp, okay? Now, what are you going to do to check the temp? Are you going to unwrap this whole thing and lose all your heat? No. Use a good product like a Thermopop or a Thermopin or Thermoworks and check it in the flat and in the point and one spot in between, okay? You're going to have some variance there, but what you're looking for is that this part, the middle of the flat, is getting to the temperature you want. Now, don't get stuck on it's got to be a certain temperature. If it's not 203, it's not done. If it's not 198, listen, go by feel. If that brisket feels like butter at 198, it's done. If it's not butter at 203, let it go to 205, okay? Just go by feel as much as you do temperature is my only advice for number 9. Once you hit that temp that you want, you're on to number 10. You're going to open up that foil. You're going to vent it out for at least a minute. Sometimes I'll do 3 or 4 minutes depending on how hot it really is, how much steam's coming out. But what I'm trying to do is halt that cooking process, okay? Because what you don't want to do is have a beautifully tender brisket here at this point, and then you wrap it back up and you rest it. You come back and it's shoe leather. When that happens, it's usually because the brisket continue to cook, okay? So vent the foil, halt the cooking process, then seal it back up, and you're going to put it in a Cambro or whatever you want. That's number 11. Rest in a cooler or Cambro or whatever for at least an hour. I like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just my personal preference. Number 12, eat and repeat. So it's really 11 steps, right? Come on. One thing I will say at number 12, make sure you're slicing across that grain. Now you'll notice on this brisket, there's a little score line right here. And that's because as I was trimming this guy, I found the grain of the flat was all running this way, and I put a score line right across it because I knew I would find it when it came time to cut it, and I know exactly how to cut that flat from start to finish against the grain to ensure it's tender. Okay? Got it? It's pretty simple. It's also pretty simple to screw up, okay? But if you follow these 12 steps, you'll have a real good chance of having a home run brisket, okay? Try it a few times, work in your process in with these 12 steps, and come up with something that works for you time and time again. That's how I got to these 12 steps. I failed a lot of briskets. I made a lot of chili. That's okay. So I hope these steps help you. I hope you enjoy eating the brisket from that these steps help you create. Leave me some comments down below. If you want more info, see the full video that will really lay this out. It's going to be a long form video talking about everything I know about brisket to help you be that star in your backyard. All right, guys. Pitmaster Shane D. We'll see you next time. Good luck out there.